I've been doing push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Monday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. My name is DJ Yoakley. Thank you for joining us here on the best 60 minutes of your sports day. A lot to get to today. Baseball and softball, we have seen a ton of no-hitters. We're seeing teams kind of even out their seasons and really find out who they are in the crux of the season now that things are kind of settling down weather-wise. Seems like, fingers crossed, again, seems like we're going to have a little bit of regularity this week, dodging some raindrops early, but according to Storm Tracker 21, looks like we'll get a lot of our games in this week, and couldn't be any more timely for softball as the brackets have been not only discussed, they have been announced, they are out there for the world to see, and if you missed Running Point today, you missed a whole lot because the boys took care of that. Ran down the entire bracket for all four divisions, and not something that you're going to want to miss. So hit the rewind button on that. Make sure you go check out Anthony and Ty as they broke down the entire bracket, something that we don't have the time for today. Maybe we'll get to a little later in the week in a rapid style. But with only an hour to give, and we start today like we start every day, even on the second day of May, it is time for On This Day in Sports History. On this day in sports history, interestingly enough, in 1958, May 2nd, the Yankees threatened to broadcast games nationwide if the National League goes ahead with its plans to broadcast games into New York City. So a little bit of a spat, you could say, with the broadcasting rights of not only the Yankees, but the entire National League. And I think we all know where that went. You look at this, I mean, I have MLB.TV, which is, I think, phenomenal. I think the NFL is looking to do something very similar to that and being able to not only contract through their own streaming services, but being able to be anywhere in the world and watch your favorite team. I think that we have, and especially in this company, we have proven that the interest is there. The interest is going to be there, and especially at the professional level. Break it down to college. College has their own networks from a conference standpoint. Some of these schools have their own networks. And down in high school now, well, yours truly, YSN, is basically the localized ESPN and the one-stop shop for every single school that enters a contract with YSN. So why was it interesting that all that happened that day in what, 1958? Is that what it was? 1958. So fast forward decades later, 2022, and we're still having that. I'm not going to get into this a whole bunch. In fact, this should be the only time I get into this, but we've already received a ton of conversation. We've received a ton of text, emails, messages on social media about the banner that's running at the bottom of our screen that started today. We received word about, I want to say about 3 weeks ago, that one of our schools is not looking to utilize our service anymore, which is fine. I'm completely okay with that. From that standpoint, I just think that the public needs to know, because why we are YSN is we are your sports network. We are accommodating our fans, right? And this school happens to be a very big part of what we do. We've seen some spectacular talent run through the ranks, not only of the entirety of YSN, but this school. Austintown Fitch has been a big part of what we've done. They've been a part of YSN since 2019. They've been a big part of it. They continue to be a big part of it. We continue to have profiles and coaches' corners and, after game interviews and things of that nature. And we fully intend and expect to live out our contract through this summer. That means football previews. That means all this stuff that happens, even though we have basically been told that we no longer are needed. And that's okay. I am completely okay with not being needed as long as the kids, the student athletes, the parents, the grandparents, the families, the fans get the same type of treatment with whatever you choose. And I don't know what the plans are in the future. I don't know. And I couldn't tell you. And I'd be honest, I'm a business owner of YSN. It's not my business to see or know what Austintown Fitch has decided to do. But what is my business is I know how this works. And I know that we will receive calls and threatening letters and emails, as we already have. But we want to make sure that the record is straight. We love all of our schools, each and every one of them. You look at them on the back here. Austintown Fitch is here. We're not taking them down. You will forever be part of the fabric that has become YSN. For that, we are forever grateful. But in no capacity will we ever back down or treat anybody any differently than we treat other schools. It's just not who we are. We're here to provide a free service to schools. We've done that. In fact, we've paid schools. Fitch being one of them. We've paid schools. We pay schools to basically have the royalties to cover some of the costs that they may incur, whether it's the electric that we utilize during the game, whether it's, if they feel that they're losing a little bit of ticket sales, whether that's true or not, we don't know, and neither do they, quite honestly. It's our intention to always make right where we can. And our goal has always been student athletes first. Our goal has always and will always be to promote the hell out of them as much as we can, because nobody, and I don't care who you put us up against, nobody covers student athletes the way we cover student athletes. And not only that, but you look at what we've developed through Austintown Fitch. And not just Fitch, but specifically in this reference, Austintown Fitch, Ty Bartell. I remember the day that I got an email from Ty Bartell and from his advisor that he specifically wanted to do his alma mater. Ty is a Fitch grad and covers Fitch and bleeds red, white, and blue. And I know that it's hard for him in this scenario to kind of be the kid in the middle, because nobody wants to see mommy and daddy fighting, and we don't want to fight, and we're not going to fight. But we are going to make people aware that we have never thought about or will ever think about dropping any of our schools. And I'm use this in every positive term. We love what we do. We love our schools. And when you are with us, you are family. But sometimes families fight. Sometimes people don't see the value in what we bring to the table, and that's okay. Because my only thought in this entire thing, and again, this is probably most likely, unless I have to do so. This is the only time you're going to hear us talk about this scenario, this situation. I do not like whenever there's confrontation, but there's been a little bit of friction along this for the past year. We've tried to iron it out to no avail. That's okay. As long as everybody remains professional, I'm okay with it. We have never, in fact, when most people would have probably subtraction coverage, we have doubled down to the point where we have been called homers, to the point where we have been called, well, okay, we want to be treated like this school. And everybody knows that school I'm talking about. The biggest thing that we're trying to do right now, our main mission, our main goal is always going to be highlight and give a platform to student athletes, programs, coaches, and fans that they can be proud of. I'm sure, because I've seen it already, and if you're on social media, you've probably seen it already too, there's plenty of supporters from that school, from Austintown Fitch, that want to keep it. All I'm asking for is a seat at the table and an understanding of what we did wrong, what we didn't do well, and that the conversation be two ways. Because as of right now, it's been one way. And while I typically will bend over backwards for athletic directors, for commissioners of conferences, we're not going to be pitted 1 against 54 and tell us that we're going to be treating someone different than anybody else. The whole goal when we started in 2017 was to give everybody their voice. And while this is a business, while I understand this is going to be a constant business, and business is ultimately sport, our business is not to be manipulated. We have 3 pillars that we stand on: loyal, local, live. Those will never change. Those will never change. We're not being threatened. I'm going to make that clear, because anybody who is in contract, when that contract ends, has an opportunity to walk away. Will I be mad about it? I'll be disappointed. I'm disappointed now. People are. I've already been told that I'm. This is guerrilla tactic. To be honest with you, this is just an awareness tactic. I think it would be unfair to the people that have followed us since 2018 or 2019, or people that have followed us before, or the people that got us into this school in the first place, that we didn't let them know that beginning in fall of 2022 that Fitch Athletics will no longer be available / contracted on YSN. I think that's fair. If I was in the scenario, or I was in the seat of those Fitch fans, or anybody across the world, you're seeing the ratings right now. If you're looking at trying to become or sponsor-wise, we want to be held accountable and responsible for those people. And we want to be upfront and as transparent as we possibly can, and that's what this is. Did I want to spend the last 10 minutes on this? I absolutely did not, but I will if it means educating the public. And this isn't a standpoint of, well, we've got a talk show and you don't. This is we were going to keep this completely in our back pocket and stay professional until I'm getting phone calls asking me about the situation. And now it's out there. And now people want to hear about it. Now people want to talk about it. Now people want answers. And now those answers are going to have to be, I would imagine, brought to the forefront and brought to light. I'm interested to know the answers because I'm in the dark right now. The only thing I know is I've got an email that says, we do not require your services. We'll let you know if that changes. Okay. But as a business, as a team, we need to plan for the future. And you want to know the cards? You want me to show you the cards? The cards are this. If we lose 1, I gain 4. We have 8 teams right now that want coverage. And we're going to get it to them, one way or the other. We love what we do, and we're damn good at it. And I'm not being pompous, and I'm not being cocky. I'm just telling you the facts. Statistics prove that. We love what we do. Anthony and Ty knock it out of the park from 12 to 2. The casual sports guys knock it out of the park from 2 to 3. And then you degenerates love this show from 3 to 4. And then we do what we do, which is we own the world. We own the sports world in this area. Hands down, not even a question about it. So what does that mean when a team leaves? What it means is there's no more player profiles. There's no more coaches' corners. There's no more interviews. There's no more live streaming. There's no more power rankings. There's no more big dogs. There's no more any of these things that it has been a value to a community to get the names and lights, to help from a recruiting standpoint, to help from all this. With YSN Prospect literally just around the corner, those athletes will not have the opportunity for YSN Prospect. And you might not need it. You might not need it, and that's fine that you don't need it. That's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. But good luck looking at those parents in the eyes whenever those parents want what the other kids have. They want what other schools have, because we have worked tirelessly, I shouldn't say effortlessly, because there's been a lot of effort. We have worked incredibly hard at building this. And I'm not offended that you don't want it. Trust me, I'm not. I'm disappointed for your community because they do. They want what we bring to the table. They want the attention. Why the hell wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want the attention? We are constantly pumping out information and a marketing machine for high school athletes in this area. And now we're in Pennsylvania and they love it. And there's more Keystoners knocking on the door. So we don't cry over spilled milk here. But again, we do inform the public. We do let them know what's going on, because I've never been a guy that allows things to happen in back rooms. There's no backroom deals here. Everything is public. Everything's transparent. Everything is open. I don't have to answer to anybody. But somebody is going to have to answer for this decision. Pure and simple. It's coming. It's here. The word is out. It's going to happen. I'm interested. I now get to watch and see what happens, because I know Austintown Fitch loves this. I know it. You know why I know this? Because they tell us. The ratings show us. That's how this goes. Sorrell, thank you. Don't ever change your main goal. And we won't. Straight up, we will never change being live, loyal, and local. Those three, till the day that the YSN falls off the wall. That's what we'll be. Steve Hogan checking in. This parent and I know many others of Falcon athletes that will always support YSN and are thankful for everything you have done, will continue to do for athletes. Keep being you and continue your legacy. Appreciate that. Ties in. TV channels do it all the time with cable providers. We keep it 100 with the fans, always. I'm not going to lie to you. That's kind of how this came about, is YouTube TV. When was it? Is it New Year's Day? New Year's Day, they were taking off Disney and like some of the bowls. Interesting. Steve, again, YSN's the best supporter of our local athletes. Thank you. I mean, we appreciate that. And again, that shouldn't be a contest. That should be leveling the bar up. Our whole goal when we started this thing was to make sure the bar gets higher. Make sure girls sports is covered, because before it wasn't. Now it is. Every single day. Every single day. From a story standpoint, from a live streaming standpoint, from a player profile standpoint, from a coach's standpoint, it's covered. Point blank, and I don't think this is breaking news. What we have done over the last 5 years has forced not only local sports to level up, productions of local sports have had to level up. Girls sports is now covered. Well done. Better late than never. But I would argue, and I would 100% put this up to a vote without us breaking down the barriers that Anthony Hartwig, I would argue 80% broke down himself with his coverage of girls sports and knowledge of girls sports and love and passion for the girls and the girls that play these sports and the programs and everything that goes with it. He brought King Kong to the party with that, because girls sports are bigger than they've ever been, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Baseball and softball coverage, which received no coverage. I don't care what county you're in. We have professionals and media members, and listen, this is their prerogative. I'm just kind of ironing things out here for you. They would talk about football 24/7, 365 if you let them. And that's fine. But the other sports need covered as well. As much as I love football, and I love football, 100% transparency, YSN was started for baseball. The idea of, hey, if we can cover baseball better than anybody else, that's our niche. And here we are covering every sport, literally every sport. We might not have the best production quality, and that's okay. Nobody's going to compare us to ESPN. We're probably not going to win any Emmys anytime soon. That's fine too. We're not here for the awards. We're not here for the pats on the back. We're here for the programs. All of them. All of them. Across the board. We're here to make sure that your kids have an opportunity to be seen. Maybe they're not going to be college athletes, but maybe they are. How many parents are out there? How many kids, how many student athletes are out there doing this by themselves, trying to rack themselves and put up GoPros and cell phone videos and things of that nature, so that way they can have a recruiting video to go to the next level? I don't see too many, because let's face it, it's not the athletic department's job to do that for a student athlete. They have enough to do. I don't see anybody doing that outside of us. I don't see guys that are giving up their time with their families every single night for pennies on the dollar or no money at all, going out and braving the storms, quite literally, in football season, in baseball season, in softball season, in lacrosse. Yeah, we got that too. What it breaks down to me is we are not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere, at least for a long, long time. And we're not going to stop. We're going to have more teams this fall in different climates, in different regions. We are growing every day. Something is always shaking around here at YSN. I promise you that. We have better opportunities now than we've ever had before. Dreams are coming true, both at YSN and for people that are covered by YSN. And if people want to give that up, that's not my problem. My problem is the disappointment that I have to deal with guys like Steve Hogan, with guys, and I'm sorry I have to bring his name up, but he's been a supporter for a long time, and I'm sure he wouldn't be mad at me for saying this. Mark Roth. I remember interviewing Joe Roth at 14 years old in Pennsylvania because he was part of the Pony League World Series, not knowing who Mark was, not knowing who Joe was, knowing he was from Youngstown. Had no idea he was from Austintown, Fitch. But I drove my happy you-know-what out to where I can't remember where it was in Pennsylvania. I think it was outside of Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken, for the Pony League World Series. And we interviewed Doug Woodrick, was one of the coaches on that team. The kids that, and breaking news, our coverage of youth sports is not going away. And in fact, we're doubling down on that. So the next gen, if you think that this is the only generation that you're going to have to deal with, you're wrong. In fact, we're going deeper into that. We're going into the little leagues. We're going into 8U, 10U. I don't care if it's 6U. I don't care if it's coach pitch. I have broadcasted T-ball before. You know why? Because it was wanted. Because somebody wanted it covered. Because it made a difference from someone either that was at the game and could watch their kid for the rest of their life, or somebody that could never watch a T-ball game before. Maybe it was grandma in New York. Maybe it was somebody from across the country. Maybe it was somebody across the world that all they wanted to do was watch their son, daughter, grandson, family member play at that moment. That's what we bring to the table each and every day. You might not be excited about some of these schools or some of these names, but we are. There's a reason that we have these shows to talk about them. Because nobody else is. If you live for the 20-second soundbite, that's not what we're here for. We're here to tell the story, the entire story, which is what you're getting right now. If I had a boss, I'd probably be fired right now for addressing this, for breaking down the fourth wall. But the viewers need to know about it. Everybody needs to understand why we do what we do. Not necessarily how we do what we do, because we are supposed to figure that out. But why do we do what we do? The questions need to be asked, not to us. And that's, I will answer. As you guys know, put them in the chat box. I've got no problem answering. I've got nothing to lose. Got nothing to lose. The amount of sacrifice, the blood, sweat, tears, and years that we've put into this product, there's not one school that is going to bring this down. I can promise you that. I can promise you that on a million different levels. We're still a business. We need sponsors. We need advertisers. Yes, we do. But I promise you that our advertisers have never questioned our work ethic, our heart, or our determination to do what we do. Some schools are bigger than others. But that does not, and I promise you, because I've seen this, the 55 schools that we cover right now, being the biggest school does not necessarily mean that you have the biggest heart. It simply means that you have more people that you have to cater to. And I think what makes YSN so special is we don't care the size of the school. We make sure we cater to your kids first and foremost. We cater to your student athletes. We're the ones that show the band at halftime. We're the ones that, when nobody shares your band has gone to Disney, we do. Because we feel that just because you don't play with a ball, or don't play with a puck, or you don't play with a certain gadget during a game, the band, the announcing team, the statisticians, the assistant coaches, the fans, the parents, the guy that's a team manager, they're all part of the sport. They're all what makes sports great. And that's why we cover them. We're diving into your communities head first. No matter the size of it. We're diving in. And what we're coming up with isn't what you're going to see on the nightly news. The production value, I promise you, isn't always going to be there. Not everybody that is on YSN graduated with a degree in broadcasting. Some of them just care about sports. Some of them just care about the schools. Some of them just care about being there. That's the difference. These guys and gals aren't there for a paycheck. I'm not here for a paycheck. 2.5 years of my life, when we started YSN, I never got a dime. Everything that we made went right back into, and the Brian was in the same spot. Everything that we made went right back into this to grow it, to scale it. We've come too far to bow down now and to even take a knee or take a play off. Everybody knows I love analogies, and I tell our guys all the time, this football field is now on YSN because I can tell them where the first down marker is. Eyes up, we're on the 3-yard line going 97 yards that way. And in case you thought you won something, look around. The best is always yet to come on YSN. The opportunities are always growing at YSN because everybody wants what we have now. The copycats are all over the place. And yet the copycats are the ones that are being invited into gyms, creating their own all-star games, doing what we've done better than anybody. Nobody's knocking down Coca-Cola, right? Sam's Choice might taste the same, but it doesn't sure as hell look the same, and it doesn't sell the same. Settling for what is being settled for is not going to be the answer to your problems. I know the problems that are going to be faced because we've already dealt with them 100 times over. That's why bigger companies are coming to us and asking how we do what we do. There's a company in New Jersey I absolutely drip with their production value. I am so jealous of their production value. Got on a Zoom call with him, and the first thing he said was, how in God's name do you do 37 games on one Friday night? First question out of his mouth. My answer? Because it's needed. How do we have 17 high school baseball, softball, lacrosse, tennis events on a random Tuesday in April? Because it's needed. Now, people are going to look to 2020 and look at the COVID situation and say, that was what made YSN. Well, I will say this. We were created in 2017, and we were still kicking ass then. COVID simply gave us an opportunity to launch ourselves forward. Take that 10-year plan, crumple it up, throw it away, and create the new version of YSN, YSN 2.0, if you will. And 2.0 is not where it starts, and it sure hell isn't where it ends, because you're going to get 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. I don't know how far. I don't know. It could be a million different versions of what we do, but we're not going to stop until we get it right. We're not going to stop until we get everybody that wants us. That's the key. So people are questioning me and what many do know, but maybe you don't know me personally, and that's fine. I'm a man of my word. If I say that I'm going to do something, if I said I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be there, and we're going to do it. My name's on the other end of that contract to finish out this season, and we're going to finish it like we started it, with a bang. But then I want you to ask yourself, if you truly don't value what we have, and that's fine if you don't. If you truly think that we're not the best, not only best bang for your buck, because, again, we pay the school. If you don't think that we're the best at what we do, God bless you. You don't fill that wall. You don't go brick by brick the way that we've gone brick by brick over the last 5 years and sit there and take it from some guy. All because we can do it ourselves. good luck. God bless you. God bless you. And I know the storm that's coming because I know our audience, you're in for a fight. You're in for a battle. And I'm sitting this one out, compadre. It's not me you got to worry about. Kind of like at the end of Lion King, right? When the hyenas surround Scar. This is what it feels like. It's got that little taste to it. You can smell it. This is not going the way that you necessarily thought things were going to go. And this is only the beginning. God bless you. Take a break, come back. We'll talk sports. No hitters, no problem. Here on YSN. Back after this on your sports network. If I can find the commercials that pay us. There you are.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the four words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
It means the world to me to know that what we're doing is impacting people. And whether it's simply, I got to watch my son or daughter when I was out of town, or we just love watching YSN. We love what you do for our son or daughter. So whenever someone says thank you or someone is appreciative of what we're doing, it tells me everyone at YSN is doing what we initially set out to do, which is shine a light on these athletes and help them kind of promote themselves. My name's Anthony Hartwig, and my sports network is your sports network.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. Let's catch up on some comments here. Ben Simmons, like the Ben Simmons, I guess, says, when are you guys going to cover water polo? Well, Ben, I'm not that good of a swimmer, so it's going to be interesting. Men's and women's handball as well. I'm just learning lacrosse right now, Ben, so I'm not sure when handball is going to come across. What's next for Fitch? 21, 27, 33? Good question, Tommy. Really good question. By the way, Sid had an unbelievable interview today on Running Point. If you haven't seen that, go check out the sensational Sydney Watts. That interview happened. Just a freshman. This young girl is so talented. So incredibly talented. And that's what frustrates me the most about this is who's going to shine the light on her other than herself? Because she's done a good job of doing that. Don't get me wrong. But, she did it outstanding. She's so well-spoken. And I think she's a freshman. So she's 14, 15 years old. That doesn't happen. That's not natural. Again, unbelievable. Anna Marie says Washington, PA. That's exactly where it was. Washington, Pennsylvania. And she would know because it was a rain out that I was interviewing. We were going there to actually just kind of report. And because I think like Fox Sports Pittsburgh does the coverage of those. And it got rained out the second I got there. We went in the hotel and we did interviews inside the hotel. And it was, again, built relationships and friendships in that main lobby of the hotel that have lasted 5 years, and could not be any more grateful for some of those relationships. The Roths are like family to, and I shouldn't even say like, they are family to us. They've been there every step of the way, both on the field and off the field. I cannot say enough about the Roths and what they mean to the Yoakley clan, not just YSN. Strong supporters of the network, big time supporters of the network. Nick says, YSN has provided so many opportunities for fans to stay connected to their communities as well as athletes to be seen. The train is not slowing down anytime soon. Amen, Nick. Amen. Robbie says, agreed. So are you guys just adding more teams from the area or new teams by Canton, Cleveland area? Well, I can't exactly go out and tell you before they sign. I wish I could, but obviously there's some language in our contracts that don't allow us to do that. And athletic directors and superintendents aren't necessarily real crazy about us announcing anything before it's signed, and they can do their due diligence, whether it be get it past the school board, inform, educate, people of that nature. But I will say this, there are some teams that perhaps you will be introduced to for the first time here in this area. Is that fair? Is that too tongue-in-cheek there? You get what I'm throwing down, right? That's okay. We're just going to leave it there. Good question, though, Robbie. Oh, boy. Ty, bringing the novel. I've built lasting relationship with so many families, the Ross, the Creekies, the Hogans, the Rays, the Leskovacs, the Jordans, and now the Watts, to name a few. These are the families and kids that deserve the answers as to how they are going to be covered, because they absolutely deserve it. I do not disagree with that, my friend. Do not disagree with that one iota. And then again, we're not leveraging the kids against the school here. That's not what we're trying to do. But I would venture a guess that, because everything's about 80-20 rule, right? I'm learning that in life. Everything's 80-20. If there's 20% of, and that's probably a high number, not to toot our own horn, beep, beep. But if 20% of families or fans or student athletes, families don't want YSN or could care less about YSN, 80%, that silent majority that you don't always hear from until stuff like this happens, are in love with what we do. Again, statistics will show, ratings show that people love what we do. We are on a pace to break our biggest year ever next month. Tell me that people don't love seeing their kids on a stream, on a TV. Tell me they don't want that. Just hearing your son or daughter's name on any, I'm not just saying YSN, but any stream, is a special thing for a parent. It's special for any part of your family. I've had families that go on vacation in the Bahamas that are watching games on YSN. You don't necessarily, like again, our society is built around sports. It's the first thing to come back during COVID. This is why I built a sports platform. Because sports are not going anywhere. Ever. They're always going to be the first ones back. People need sports for so many different reasons. I'm interested. I'm interested of what the backup plan is. It does not distract us from what we are doing. We are going to have additional teams and additional coverage of those additional teams. But it does allow us, quite frankly, to dig deeper in other teams. If we don't have a team, if a team doesn't want our coverage, let's be frank, I can sit here and pout about it, or we can double down on coverage somewhere else. Now, if you know me, you know which one I'm going to do. And if you look at this, all these stickers and decals behind me, you damn well know which one I'm going to do. So that might be a situation where other school districts are cheering this decision, because that's one less piece of competition they have to deal with YSN. I don't know. I wasn't going to let the cat out of the bag. It was approached to me. Here we go. James Bartell, Austintown Fitch will miss you, Ty. I don't think anybody is going to disagree with that. It's very special when an alum gets to talk about their alma mater and call games. It hits a little bit different. Now, Ty is as ramped up as you can get anywhere on this. I mean, you look at everybody, the amount of energy that Ty brings on a constant level, more than anybody in the company. And I think that's where you're going to feel the biggest hit. But I've already had that conversation with Ty, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying, Ty said, well, if it's not them, it's somebody else. And somebody else is going to get the level of energy that I bring. That is the kind of guy that I want in the foxhole with me. That's the kind of guy I want doing the games for YSN. And that's why we're so proud of Ty Bartell. Chris Ziegler chiming in says, these programs and the people who follow them recognize how much the people with YSN care about them. Indeed. Chris did a phenomenal, and he's not asking for this, but if you didn't see the shared post, one of my favorite nights of the year is United does this like youth night, and they come and they let kids take out pads of paper and get autographs from the teams. And they just had it this weekend. And Chris actually had a fan on the stream with him, which I thought was such a good idea, such a forward-thinking idea. And that's the next generation, right? We talk about the next generations. We talk about engaging youth sports. That's another way that we can engage youth sports. That young lady will never forget her time, whatever an inning on YSN. And that's just another piece of things that we can do that others can't. Quite honestly, I mean, here's the thing is we don't have to fight the FCC. We don't have to do any of that stuff. I'm not afraid to let a 10-year-old have the microphone, because maybe they discovered something the same way that I did when I was 14 about broadcasting. If I didn't suck in science class and need extra credit in my environmental science class, and the athletic director, Rick Eisnick, wasn't the athletic director and the science teacher, I promise you YSN does not happen. It does not happen this many years later, because my guy got me interested and engaged in broadcasting, which got me to college, which got me a job, which got me this. That's what we're trying to do. There's levels, right? I think of it like a sidewalk. You're walking along the sidewalk. You never really trip on the level parts. It's always that crack between the sidewalks that nobody thinks about. If we were able to fill those cracks in the coverage of our area, which I feel like we have, then it's smooth sailing for us. The rest is easy. That's why in a nutshell, I think that's why YSN matters so much to so many. Yes, we will. And Ty has been a tremendous supporter of Fitch softball. I know I'll never forget what he has done. I know my daughter will never forget him and asking her for her first interview on Running Point. Right there, man. Right there. This has turned into the YSN Love Hour, so I apologize. Never forget when I first saw you guys out at a baseball game in 2018, when I watched one of the kids I trained at my own gym play baseball. It's awesome to see how far you guys have come. YSN is great. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Ty Bartell, thank you for everything, Ty. Our family will always be thankful for you. I guess it is kind of I mean, we still have plenty of games we're going to do. Again, we are not waving the white flag on Austintown Fitch. It's not happening. It's just not happening. I can tell you this, student athletes always appreciate the sport of YSN. I love that. That to me, can I star that? There we go. I'm starring it. I don't even know what I just did by starring it, but Nick, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Anna Marie says, Steve Hogan couldn't have said any better. Thank you, Ty and YSN. Tatum Ray, not only are you promoting these athletes for all the right reasons, but the interviewing skills these athletes are experiencing is great for the future. We appreciate all YSN does for our athletes. That is a great point. Another great point. Here's Amo. I'll do these games for free if that's what it takes to keep schools. These kids and family deserve to be recognized for their hard work they put in. Amo will. I love Amo. He's one of the family, obviously, but he is psychotic. Like, he does not care. Kids always come first for Aaron Mosier, and he is, again, one of the best young men that you'll ever want to. And to have him do your games, another feather in the cap. Seth, wow, as a former Fitch graduate, I am just heartbroken that the kids won't get any coverage they deserve. I'm going to give my 2 cents at the next meeting. We appreciate that. And again, we're not trying to stir the pot here by any means. Education, and having information. Jimmy Creaky says, we have your back. This is not the end. We will come together and get, wow. This is too much. I did not expect this at all. Ty, just want to say thank you for all that you've done for Fitch and those athletes. Ty is probably just loving life right now. But this is exactly what is needed, because listen, I'm not, again, breaking any news. Our announcers don't make a living doing this yet. That's the goal. We're getting closer, one step at a time, one brick at a time. We're getting there. But acknowledging guys like Ty and all of our announcers, you have no idea what that means to me. I could care less if anybody watches anything I do or says anything about what I do. Don't care. Like, appreciate it, but I don't need it. These guys are the ones that are the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, it's not their dream. Maybe it is. I don't know. But a lot of them are just trying to cut their teeth, or a lot of them just want to go and be a part of a team. And that's what we got here. Coach Eisnick, the legend. I love that guy. Well, Nick, you can thank him for everything you see today, because if it wasn't for Rick Eisnick, YSN certainly does not exist, because they needed a freshman boys basketball announcer. All right, Jeremy says, all Fitch parents need to call the athletic department at Fitch, let them know how big of a mistake they're making. YSN has promoted these athletes in the sports they play for more than the school has, and there's no excuse that could be accepted as far as I'm concerned. Jeremy, thank you very, very, very much. All of you, thank you for, great engagement today. I hope it was great conversation. I hope maybe you learned something you didn't know. Maybe you knew all of that. Maybe you're a good friend of mine and you're just tuning in because 3 to 4 is a slow part of your day. What I will tell you is there's a lot of people that will sit there and will tell you that YSN is going to go away. We're just, the next thing, right? We're just seasonal. I will tell you, and this will be my spark. So let me pay the bills real quick, because we haven't paid a whole lot today, and our friends over at over at Dickey Electric certainly are huge supporters of ours. So I want to make sure that we support them as well. It's the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark presented by our friends in North Lima, Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them on campus if you have an issue. And of course, you can always schedule by visiting DickeyElectric.com. Okay. So when full transparency, it's story time, ladies and gentlemen. So grab your nappers, grab your your pillows and your blankies, because it's story time. 2017, when this first started, again, I'm not a business guy. I'm learning every day, and I've learned every day since we started in 2017. We started YSN, full transparency. I've used that a lot today, so I apologize. That must be my crutch word today. My wife and I left our jobs because she wanted to do something from home, and I wanted to do something in sports. I was a salesperson in the marketing world, working at a place that I really enjoyed. But as with many things in life, people change, the circumstances change. And, one of the closest groups that I was with, they went and did something different. So we did something different. My wife and I started a mattress store. And I'm not going to knock people that sell mattresses the way that we had been knocked. And people still kind of tongue in cheek, make fun of us for that. What I will tell you is the end goal was never to be a mattress salesman or to own a mattress store. The end goal was to make enough money to support our family for 1 to 2 years so we can live out our dreams of trying something. One time. You get one shot, right? And it was a shot in the dark. And Brian Scott, who's the co-founder of this company, we had been talking about something for a very long time. He's been in the business for almost 2 decades now at this point. And I said, I saw streaming was coming. I thought, what if someone came along and basically localized Fox Sports, ESPN, or NBC Sports of the Mahoning Valley, and just the Mahoning Valley. That's it. Just everything Mahoning Valley in sports runs through us. Beat reporters, talk shows, live games. We had our fair share is an understatement of obstacles that we had to go through, to the point where 29 doors were slammed in our face. I'll never forget that number as long as I live. I hate the number 29 now. Hate it. 29 doors of local schools were slammed in our face until I finally got an email from one back. It was Ed Ridgway of Latonia, and he said, I'm not sure that we're even going to have a football team, but if we do, you're more than welcome to cover them. That changed the tide, ladies and gentlemen. YSN was born, and everything was underway. And then a random LinkedIn message at 10:30 at night to a Dan Yeagley of South Range football saying, Coach, I understand that times are a little bit tough in the conference now, because at the time, Crestview and South Range had just left the conference of the ITCL. We would love to cover your games, all 10 of them, not going to cost you a dime, and we'll cover them, interview your players, interview you on a weekly basis. And Dan Yeagley, as only Dan Yeagley can do, sends a message back 10 minutes later at 10:45 at night on LinkedIn telling me that why he'd love it, we have to go through the chain of command. We went through that chain of command. Dennis Dunham, who was then the superintendent of South Range, now the superintendent of Latonia, we all owe him. He said yes. Todd Huda, who was the athletic director at Salem, said yes. Matt Manley, the superintendent at Crestview, said yes. Those 4 were the founding stones, bricks, whatever you want to call them, of YSN. Since those moments, we have gained over 50 schools, over 20 organizations, semi-pro baseball, college baseball, flag football, youth sports. I could not be more proud of what we have not only brought to the table, what we have brought from around the country, thoughts, ideas, forward thinking, forward progress. And we've brought it right to your front door. Don't take this the wrong way. We make our fair share of mistakes. We've had our fair share of obstacles. But I will never apologize for going full speed for the kids, for the communities, for the programs, for the student athletes, and yes, for the athletic directors. This isn't a side to choose. We're all on the same side. We all should and do care about the student athletes. This is merely an opportunity for awareness, for the people's voice to be heard if you want it to. I'm not saying that we won't fight to keep the schools that we have under our banner in our families. What I'm telling you is point blank. The one will never outweigh the many. And that's it. When you're part of our family, we're all treated the same. We have one goal, and that is promote the hell out of these student athletes. That is our job. And we do it in 3 ways: loyal, local, and being live. That is our show for this Monday. I hope you had a good time. Hope you have a great night. Lots of games on the network tonight. Check out ysnlive.com/live for all the updated stats, scores, highlights, stories, and of course, your links to those games here in the area. God bless you. We will see you tomorrow from 3 to 4, where I promise we don't talk about this tomorrow. Bye. YSN thanks you for watching.